my darling viewers, I've just shot you guys a really good video talking about VE Day. In fact, you're about to watch it, but I've been on the news. And the Vatican chapel, where the conclave of cardinals are secretly meeting, they've just released white smoke. Now, if you're like me, you're on your third or fourth pope, John Paul II, Ratzinger. Was there another one before Francis? I don't know. But if this is not your first rodeo, pope-wise, you know that the white smoke means that they got a new bloke to put in a white cloak, and you know it because of the white smoke. Enjoy the video. Here we are, about to enter Blackburn. The rising sun, the sun never sets on the British Empire. Today is Victory in Europe Day. 80 years since the actual day. I've got a bone to pick with a lot of you. I've got a few things to get off my chest. I'm on the verge of getting angry. So let's go and do it. Right, okay. Okay. I know that's not a pub, it's a supermarket. It used to be called The Bull. Now it's The Bullshit. Yeah, that's the spirit. VE Europe. 80 years. So, a lot of people who are right-wing, you know, or if you're centre-right, which is how I would describe myself, you know, 80 years ago, your granddads, and your dads if you're old, if you're very old, you know, I've got a lot of 70, 80-year-old viewers. Your dad is a hero because he killed fascists and Nazis. And now, we're all utterly confused because crazy leftoids, communists, look at that, you know you're in a nice area when the grannies knit poppies on a nice bit of, look at that, VEITCH or VE80, and yours truly was born in 1980. And anyway, your granddad's a hero for shooting Nazis, for shooting authoritarians, for shooting control freaks, for shooting people that want to, like, you know, decide how people live. We're British. We don't have any of that crap. So how annoyed am I? How enraged? I feel like slapping some of you. You go on Twitter, which top autistic man, Elon Tusk, big walrus Tusk. Hello. How you doing, Charlie? Thank you, mate. All the best. Thank you. Based. Says, keep going, Charlie. Elon, yeah, was it? Old Tusky boy. He's named X, but X, he's named his son X. One of his 18 children is named X. So it's Twitter. And I go on Twitter, and because I like a spicy meme, I like a spicy bit of free speech, I like a spicy joke, and I like a dark joke. And oh, someone's driving around the outside of the truck. Whoa! And because I like a spicy joke, I get recommended even spicier things. And sometimes I click on them because I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting dizzy. Dizzy with these Americans and their free speech. But there is a big problem brewing in the right-wing camp, guys. A big problem. And I'm gonna stop pointing a camera at my face because there's too many people in the queue of traffic. And I don't want to distract them with my shiny bald head to the point where they crash. Actually, I'm feeling a bit shy and I don't want to get recognized too much. That's the real reason. But I do appreciate the man in the white car. You, sir. Thank you. In totally unrelated news, but I'm walking past here. I think I'm in an area called Brown Hill. These rusty window grates are pissing me off. Why is the doctor's surgery? I'll tell you another thing that really pisses me off. Why is it called a doctor's surgery where you're not going to be surgeoned on by a... You're not going to get operated on by a surgeon in the doctor's surgery. What a load of shit. And then... Hello! We're big fans of the hard-working man on this channel. Keeping the infrastructure going. Being manly. Doing man things. And more importantly, working honestly for money. So you understand the value of sacrifice and work. So, viewers love a bit of context. There you go, we're just outside Blackburn. And up there, see that? That's I thought that was a modernist church from the 70s. It's actually from 1932, and that also pisses me off. Like a misspent youth. In it, bruv, I'm gonna sit on the wall outside the Nisa local. I'm gonna hover around until I can convince someone over 18 to buy me fags and beer. Now, before the Americans say, buy you fags, I'm not gonna rent a boy for the evening here. No, in Britain, we call cigarettes fags. So when you go outside and say, hey mate, can I bum a fag off you? It's like, excuse me? You're gonna bum. So, a lot of the internet is what I'd call bad right wing. And look, it's never ever ever a good idea to insult your potential audience. But I know my viewers are not bad right wing. You're just right. Because you watch me, of course, you've got great taste. But what do I mean by bad right wing? Well, a few people online have called it the woke right. You know, authoritarian, trying to control everything. You got to agree with all the things that are said, otherwise you're evil, you're immoral. What is the woke right? Well, in my opinion, the woke right are truly, truly racist, to the point where they don't see that an African or an Arab or a Pakistani or an Indonesian could have a soul, could have humanity, could have the same things which make them amazing and worthy of love and compassion and kindness. There's a lot of true racism in the woke right. And I go on Twitter, as I was chatting about further down the hill, and I like a good racist joke, I like a good homophobic joke, I like a good sexist joke, especially like the sexist jokes, you know, because women are funny. No, but I do like a good racist joke now and again, but then it comes a line where it gets too racist, and it's not like funny internet racism, it's actual low IQ, troglodyte, hate your fellow human beings kind of racism. I'll tell you a story. I'm not going to name the group, but a few years ago I was invited to go out drinking with a prominent right-wing group, and we all had a great time. And then it was like 1 in the morning on we're in Manchester, we're in Portland Street. And this young black guy, must have been about 25, came, and he was very charming, normal black guy, came and started chatting to us. Came time for him to go, he had to go to his next party. So I stuck out his hand, I shook his hand, but 2 of the guys there refused to shake the guy's hand. And he wasn't acting in any untoward way, he wasn't scary, he was just a charming young black man. And seeing people that I was friendly with refuse to shake his hand only because he was descended from Africans, I was like, what the F is wrong with you people? Look, I'm not as bad as the woke lefties. Woke lefties will see a machete-wielding roadman dressed all in black with a balaclava on and say, he's a fine upstanding gentleman, he can babysit my kids tonight, I'll trust him with the keys to my house when I go on holiday. No! F you! But on the flip side, if you refuse to shake hands with a charming young black man who's being friendly, you are as bad as the woke lefties. You are the woke righties. Uh-oh, what's he doing with the Akbar curry sign? Akbar, oh, he's installing it. Look at that high vis and everything. I'm yet to go to Akbar's. What do my curry munching viewers think? Who might know Akbar's and Blackburn any good? The man in the orange is still fixing the Akbar sign. Anyway, get a bit of context for the viewers. Yes. And let's move the camera up this way. See that, yeah? You'd look at that and go, right, that is a brutalist church from the 60s or 70s, but as I said, it's 1932. What were they thinking in that in-between war period? I drove past the Brownhill Arms on St. George's Day not too long ago, just a few days ago. Well, 12 days ago, whatever it's been. And you should have seen the amount of happy English people having a beer, children running around, super wholesome. If any fights break out, if they do, let's not pretend that Europeans don't fight. We love a good fight. Everyone goes home Nobody gets stabbed. Nobody gets shot. A bit of fisticuffs, you know, didn't hurt anyone. Okay, it does. I've been sucker punched a few times in the face, but you get over it. But I'll tell you what you don't get over: a machete blade to the heart. No, that's harder to get over than a sucker punch to the face. At the Brownhill Arms with Tom Barron. How are you, Tom?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, and could you show us what you're smoking there? It's a pipe. My dad used to smoke a pipe. You weren't in the Merchant Navy or the Royal Navy, were you?
No.
No, my dad, a sailor, and they always had this pipe. So I want to wish you a happy VE Day, Victory in Europe Day.
Good.
I don't think you're old enough. You weren't there 80 years ago, were you?
No, I'm 78.
Oh, you just missed it. You're one of what they call a baby boomer. You're a boomer.
Well, it could be. I don't feel like that at the moment, but I'll take that as
Fair
a plus.
enough. There you go. And so you're obviously having a few beers in the pub today.
Yeah.
And what do you think is important about celebrating days like Victory in Europe Day?
For all the people that never came back, and how we fought off the Hitler and all his gang.
The fascists, the Italians, the Germans, but it's the big sacrifice of. I'll let this guy get into the pub. Sorry, but the sacrifice of all those young men. I think people sometimes forget, and if only people nowadays understood the blood and guts that were given for us to have these freedoms. And I'll tell you something, Tom, that really grinds my gears is seeing this rising authoritarian, totalitarian nanny state, people trying to tell. Whereas we literally lost hundreds of thousands of young men so that we wouldn't have fascists telling us what to do and how to think, how to feel, how to dress, what you're allowed to say, what you're allowed to talk about.
You're quite right what you said. I agree with you.
So Tom, if you don't mind me asking, it's a very personal question. How do you intend to vote in the next general election?
Reform.
Good man, me too.
I'm a member of Reform.
You're a member of Reform?
Yes, sir.
Well, good stuff. I voted for Reform, as did everyone I know personally in the local election. And I'm glad to see that here in the Ribble Valley, Reform control it. They control Lancashire County Council now as well. Oh, brilliant. Show us just the Union Jack side. Hey, card-carrying member of Reform. Well, Tom...
From 23. I got on
early days.
I'll have a look at there, 23.
It is indeed. Yeah, look at that. He joined when it started.
Correct.
Well, Tom, on behalf of myself and all my viewers, thank you so much for your time. Have a great VE Day.
Yes,
have a few pints on me. And if I can... I've got the wrong hand, but if I could shake your hand and say thank you, sir. All the best.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, Tom. Massive thank you to Tom out there. Reminded me a bit of my father. So Tom, if you watch this, thank you, sir. You are a gentleman for impromptu giving me a wonderful interview. And amazing to see you are a card-carrying member of Reform, which hopefully should be running this country in not too many years. In my humble opinion, and forgive me, viewers, don't, like, if you are one of the racist right-wingers, like truly racist, you need to reform yourself. You need to get rid of that hate in your heart. You can be proud English, you can be proud American, proud Canadian, you can be whatever. You're European, Anglo-Saxon, Norman, you could be hybrid Iberian, Viking, Anglo like I am, whatever, Just get rid of that hate in your heart. Many of you as well. Anyway, let me rewind here. This isn't a castigation exercise. I'm not here to lose an audience, insult my audience, but most of you, as I said earlier, you're not what I'm describing. There's also a very strong strain of anti-Semitism, just Jew hate, hatred of Jewish people. It's funny, just my kind of linguistics. I prefer to say Jewish people rather than the Jews or Jews. The Jew sounds dodgy. If you're going to start a sentence with the Jews, it's not going to be good, but I always prefer to say Jewish people. We're here on Amethyst Road, this part of Blackburn or wherever. I think we're in Blackburn. Officially in Blackburn. Yeah, we passed the sign. There's Ruby Street, Amethyst Street, Diamond Street. What's the other one? They got Garnet Street. Oh, Emerald Street as well. But so many Christians online as well. They're like hating the Jews. And it's like, hold on a second. Our Messiah was a Jew. A Jewish man. A Jewish person. Jewish people. And because, quite clearly, a civil war broke out within Judaism 2,025 years ago. Obviously an offshoot became Christianity in that civil war, much like the British schism. An offshoot became the United States. And many offshoots become very powerful, like the United States, like Christianity. But I see a lot of right-wing people now getting really mad at Israel for defending themselves and going on the offensive against the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, the crazies in the West Bank. Those operations have increased quite a lot. And it blows my mind, and I'm trying to understand it. What it is subconsciously, a lot of people don't believe Jewish people are fully human, are fully rendered as valuable humans. And so when Topaz Street, for example, so when terrible atrocities happen to them, sometimes people think they deserve it, or they don't have sympathy, they don't have compassion. They think that they should just take it and not fight back, which is bad advice. You can't just take it and not fight back. I know Jesus said turn the other cheek, but when there's a fanatical organization of death cult Islamists preparing to torture and murder your children and gloat about it and have hospitals and schools named after them for doing it, you can't quite turn the other cheek, because it's a matter of self-defense, you know. If someone's slapping you in the face, give them your other cheek. If someone's taking your shirt, give them your jacket as well. It'll make them feel bad. But when they're wanting to decapitate your daughter on Facebook Live in her kitchen and then laugh at you, nah. Can't do that, Ruby. So we have two right wings. You've got crazed, angry, psychological issue, racist right wing, and then you've got the actual right wing, which is about policy and how to organize humanity, and it's very much about freedom, very much a liberty-loving thing, very much about meritocracy. And one thing I love about the right wing, the libertarian right wing, please forgive me guys for using the words libertarian and right wing in the same sentence, forgive me, is the fairness of it. That if you're black, gay, Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, Oriental, South Asian, whatever, if you're a good guy or a good woman and you work hard and you've got good morality, a true right-winger will not care. Will not care at all. I'm going to turn the camera around here. Muslim children running around. I don't want to get attacked by the woke left. I love it. I love it. I love it. When I was born in the Botafogo hospital in Rio de Janeiro, the first thing my father did was contact the British consulate in Rio and say, "Oi! One more British man has been born." And yeah, so that's how that works. Okay, we'll come off the main road for a bit for audio purposes. Oh, how northern is that? I think they call it a ginnel here in the northwest of England. But here's a nice filthy back passage for you. Oh, look at the skid marks down there on this back passage. Hardy, 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 har. There's so many right-wingers. Sorry, woke right, dark right, bad right, traumatized right. They don't seem to want to include brown, black, blue, green, red, anyone in their alleged utopia. They think like a society of pure white people will be successful, and they're like, you know, there are many countries which you could call pure white, you know, there's very few ethnic minorities, and fair play to them, but I don't know, man. The most powerful country on earth, economically, militarily, maybe even intellectually from all the good universities they've got, the most powerful nation on earth, has many, many different types of people. But here's the secret. Make them all American. They make them all patriotic, singing the flag, pushing American values, which, you know, I'm very proud to say come from British values. And that, you know, the American Constitution, the Declaration of Independence are some of the most beautifully written philosophical tracts you'll ever feast your eyes on. So the fundamentals are very important. And Britain, I'm going to tie this back to the racist right, don't worry. Britain has lost its balls, it's lost its way, it's lost its penis even. Britain doesn't know how to be British anymore, but I feel that in the last few weeks, last few months, some hormone has gone through the air. And your average Brit now, average English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish, is flying the flag, is rediscovering their identity. Not only are human beings, Homo sapiens, the apex predator on Earth, Europeans are the apex predators of the apex predators, to the point where we had to develop the European Union, United Nations, just to stop us knocking absolute shit out of one another, which we became very good at. We became so good at knocking shit out of one another that when someone else tried to knock shit out of us from across the world, we nuked them. Twice. Who's a grass? Who's a grass? The government censored it. They don't want me knowing who's a grass. Amongst scummy people. It's a bad thing. This is Charlie Veitch, top grass. Top grass of central Manchester. Come at me, bro. Snitches get stitches. No. They get a pat on the back from other civilized members of society. If you're scum, you deserve to be grassed. There's that grass man, and the government also doesn't want me to know that message here, but it might be a scummy message. But let's turn the camera around. Fly tipping, you know. Why take it to the dump, eh, when you can just be scummy and deposit your old TV. Look at these TVs. It goes to show you most of it's just air. Look at the paneling. And then the actual screen. Oh my god, it's even translucent. But the actual screen is very thin. Anyway, this is about bad right-wing people. I always get caught in different stories within stories within stories. It's a fractal expansion of stories. Donna and Lewis are grasses or something. In other news, grass is a grass. Right, Ginnels, eh? Back passages. We're on Cornelian Street. What a name. Cornelian of the Cornell. So, yeah, this is a back passage in the northwest of England. Very Manchester, very Blackburn, very Liverpool. Dump your fireplace wood. And they're generally quite messy. Not always. You know, sometimes if you get enough homeowners in one row, they will look after the back passage. Some of them don't even have back doors for their back passage. And you can find all sorts of discarded, abandoned items. See, this is nothing. You should see Birmingham. Birmingham's that times 5 million. God, I laugh every time I think about it. The Pakistani man with a thick Pakistani accent yelling at Wesley Winter, saying that Birmingham is worse than Pakistan. You can't make it up. Orange poppies, guys. Not quite red ones for VE Day, but remember them via an orange poppy as well. What the hell? So that says 6G. I thought we were stuck on 5G. But maybe, is this what? Have they got? Let me just show you guys this. Can my electrical engineer, network engineer type viewers tell me what the flip are these round things? Am I getting blasted with 6G now? 6G? Is that real? 6G? I thought we were on 5. Ah, good old Cornelian. Now, I didn't realize that people writing that each other are grasses or whatever was such a big problem around here, but there's a lot of people warning a lot of other people not to do business in terms of narcotics dealing with certain people. Something tells me this Honda Civic hasn't moved for a while. Someone just left a very funny comment on my last video, the berry one, saying, yes Charlie, you cannot polish a turd, but you can certainly roll it in glitter. So just had a friendly viewer say hello. There he goes. There he goes. We'll keep him anonymous. And what do my viewers think when you see this sort of thing? Is there a pond in there? Is there a lake? Should we ponder? Ponder if there's a pond? Oh, it goes down quite far. So apparently we're at Rowley Park. We're in Rowley. Oh no, it's not. It's not a lake. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's a little stream with a weird box thing. Well, we're here now. Let's go down. It's a bit steeper than it looks, but when you've got giant paddles like me with walking boots on it, you can get some good grip. Yeah, keep the big logs and wood out, big branches and logs and rubbish. Keep it out. No one likes a clogged weir. Right, this pigeon's not going to trust me. He's going to fly off. He's going to fly off. He's not going to trust me. Yep. He's off. So it's not rained in this country for a long time. There's no forecast for rain for another 13 days. And I love the fact that these hills are so full of water that even though it's not rained for 10 days, you still get the streams. So the animals can drink. The breweries can brew beer so that humans can drink. And everyone drinks, and I'll tell you who really drinks. We'll pull one out. Don't hate me, but you're meant to pull them out. This here is an invasive plant brought over by the Victorians called Himalayan balsam. And it's out-competing the absolute shit out of all British plants because Keir Starmer has told them they'll pay less tax than British workers. If you get the joke. Yesterday, Keir Starmer in a trade deal with India said that Indian workers for the first 3 years won't have to pay national insurance, what the Americans would call social security tax. Not for the Indians, not allowed. So yeah, Himalayan balsam. You're meant to pull it up, but you're fighting a losing battle all over England. Probably Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland as well. Himalayan balsam is the top dog immigrant, and he's won. Remember that joke I cracked when the transgender ally lady with the crazy wild hair, she looked a bit like Rod Stewart, I think it was a she said, you are a white supremacist. And I found the facts, guys. Let's look at the nettles. We tell the facts. Indian Hindu supremacist, because Indian Hindus out-earn English white people per capita in England. How good is that? Goes to show you some immigrants, not allowed, do very well. Do very well. And there was a running joke in the Veach family in the 90s when we were living out in the Middle East. There's a lot of Indians in Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Dubai, a lot of Indians. And every time we'd have a PC failure, my dad would say, get a clever Indian to look at it. We'd take it to the local Indian PC repairman. And the clever Indian, 99 times out of 100, he'd know exactly what to do. Plastic bags in the river. We walk along. What's this? A tree upon the path. That's okay. I'm sure the dog walkers have created a diversion. Oh shit. You know what? I reckon it's still going to grow. Yeah, it's still growing. You can just tell it's still trying. The tree is trying. Now, this is all brand new for me. I don't know where we are. There's some fake lake here. Fake lake! Oh, man. Imagine how beautiful this could be if people looked after it. I don't think you're going to find too many tadpoles in there, Charlie. No. It's oily as well. It's oily, full of plastic. And it's like a vortex of doom. Once people don't clean up the first bits of shit and rubbish, then everyone thinks it's okay to throw in the shit and the rubbish. Oh, I thought that was an animal. It's just methane bubbling up. Methane and other bad gases. And what have we got here? Oh yes. Oh yes, my UK aesthetics enthusiast in it, bruv, will know exactly what that is. But for the rest of you who might not know, that there is a large nitrous oxide canister with a pink nozzle. And yeah, we know what the youth do with the pink canisters, don't we? Sorry, with the nitrous oxide canisters. Ooh, sir, get a pink nozzle. Get a pink nozzle in your mouth. Right, I think I'm going to cut this bit and I'm going to start panting up this. I'll come back to you guys in this next shot, obviously. How shitty. How shitty. Turning now to the India-Pakistan war. Do you remember when Muhammad Ali very famously said, "No Viet Cong ever called me N-word"? I saw a meme from the American civil rights era, and there's a young black guy holding up a banner saying, "No Pakistani ever tried to tell my parents he was Microsoft support," which is a joke on the infamous Indian scam call centers that scam money out of innocent Western people. Now, can any of my Pakistani viewers confirm? Is that an Indian problem exclusively? Do the Pakistanis not do the whole Microsoft support scam as well? Camera turned round. And I'm going to show you guys this house up ahead. And then I want to give some remarks again about the woke right. The woke right. I always love seeing palm trees in people's front gardens, how they grow successfully in Northern Europe. And of course the little Garfield kitty. Hey kitty. But here on the edge of Rowley Park, Rowley Prack. Oh wow, I think it's, oh wow. Let's see what happens. Is this someone's private residence? I hope not. But it's a beautiful stone house from, well, no, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to get shouted at. They're going to see this big bald guy clearly doing hostile reconnaissance for some far-right terrorist organization. I can't even name one. I can name probably about 15 Islamic extremist organizations, but I can't name one far-right terrorist group. Aryan Brotherhood? But they're more of a prison gang, aren't they? I thought if you're a white guy in jail, you have to join the ethnic gang that... I don't have to, I'm talking shit. I know nothing about prison. There are men, many of them, very hard-working YouTubers who have more experience of that sort of thing than I do. But I can imagine sometimes in prison, in order to protect your anus, you might have to join a gang. Otherwise, you're everyone's booty. It's like, oh, Charlie's just got sentenced to 7 years for too much free speech on his YouTube. Let's put him in with a whole bunch of ethnically diverse rapists. Bit fast there, bro. 1932. What were they thinking? Here we go, guys. Here's the birth. The birth of brutalism. This is the granddaddy. The granddaddy. I think I should probably Le Corbusier, that Frenchy socialist weirdo. He was probably alive in 1932, but he wasn't the architect here. I'm going to get you guys the name. St. Gabriel's Church behind me, built in 1932 by the architect, designed by the architect Francis Xavier Lavard. Did I say Lavard? I meant Velard. Velard with a V like Veach. Velard. Velard, not Lavard. Francis Xavier. We need more kids called Francis Xavier. It's like a little bomb shelter. But check it out. And you know, the more I look at it, the more it grows on me. But I do like the Art Deco doors here. Look at these metal doors with this weird Art Deco design on them. Very 1930s. Very 1930s. And then you look up and yeah. What were you thinking, Velarde? Francis Xavier Velarde? You weren't even in the 60s. You hadn't yet experienced the horrors of World War II. Why were you effing up classical architecture? Why, Villard? Why? So, why is the woke right called the woke right? Well, they're exactly like the woke left, just from a different angle. For example, talking of diversity and ethnicities and equality and inclusion, for one moment. A woke lefty, and whether they're in the kind of like hiring, they're in HR, they do racist things like say no white people need to apply, we're going to hire black and ethnic minority people ahead of white people, this is positive discrimination. And then they tell you, oh, it's legal under the Equality Act to discriminate against white people. And then they end up hiring people based purely on their ethnicity, an African or Pakistani, whatever, yeah? Whether they're good enough for the job or not, the woke lefties, they're like, wow, I am such a virtuous person. I have hired, you know, the tribesman Mutembwe from the only discovered a year ago Bantu tribe of deepest Nigeria. He is now an air traffic controller. And Mutembwe doesn't even speak English, but it'd be racist not to hire him. And then the planes crash and it's like, whoa, whose fault was it? So, woke left, hiring people just because they're black. Woke right is the flip side of it, which is discriminating against anyone just because they happen to be black. He might be a smart man, super educated, really good at his job, really hardworking, really moral. And the woke right would say, no, not good enough, because they are dirty racists. So the woke lefties are dirty racists against the whites. The woke righties are dirty racists against everyone who isn't white. Do you see the Hegelian dialectic here? So another thing which I've noticed about the woke right, especially online, is their desire for both India and Pakistan to annihilate each other. And that is often their answer as well for Israel and Palestine. Oh, I just want to sit back and watch all these people annihilate each other. And I've seen people wishing great success to the nuclear forces of India, and in the same post wishing great success to the nuclear forces of Pakistan. Now, there's a joke in there somewhere, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think I'm siding with the Hindus on this one. You can't let Islamist groups with close ties to the government. Remember, Pakistan were hiding Osama bin Laden. They were. The Pakistani government knew about it. Anyway, the Pakistani government is the Pakistani military. It is. I forget the top general's name, but he's in charge of the country. Everyone knows it. Everyone in Pakistan knows that the military is in charge of the country. So they're hiding mass murderers that the Americans were after. And then apparently, again, everything you got to take with a pinch of salt, because in war, the truth is the first casualty. Fucking hell. So what can you believe? But the Indians tell us that the terrorist scumbags that massacred 26 Hindus in Kashmir in that tourist spot, and looks like a very nice spot, and these were probably upper middle class Indians. They weren't slum dwellers. They were like educated, like the ones we were discussing earlier, that high earning Indian. So, Pakistan, like, do you guys remember the the Bombay AK-47 massacre from about 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago? The Bombay massacre, where, you know, you got your Pakistani militants going around shooting people. How do you respond to that? Well, hey, Yitzhak in Tel Aviv, how you doing? Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. We've got a bunch of death cultist Islamists killing innocent people because they're crazy. How do we deal with it? Oh yeah, what was that? Oh, like what you guys did in Gaza. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, the view of this channel, the Vich's view, and I hope the view of you guys, is that it doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, whether you're black or Jewish or white or Chinese or Christian or Muslim or whatever. You gotta have the right to defend yourself. And if people online, anyone fancy a Honda? A lot of Honda garages here. And if people online are making you feel bad for defending yourself, it's because they have dehumanized you and they don't see you as worthy of love or compassion. All human beings on earth, every single one of us, is worthy of love and compassion. Every single one of us has a wounded child inside us, and we are traumatized, and we suffer. Got to be careful, crackheads on bike. I'm not saying he wasn't, definitely not one, but I only verified by looking around. But we're all suffering. We all struggle on a day-to-day basis. But you got to overcome that struggle. You still got to work. You still got to provide for your family. You still got to do what you got to do. But as a closing remark, the beauty of God is inside every last human being on earth, and we forget that. And the damaged, horrible people are the ones who don't know that, and they've forgotten it. And how you deal with them, you got to defend yourself. That's the main thing. If someone's coming to kill your children, you've got to kill them first. This is Charlie Veach, coming to you from Ramsgreave on the outskirts of Blackburn. I'll see you as always on the next video.